Jai Gurudev. I am Dr. Mudita Agarwal, and today we have with us Mr. Lothar Pirc from Germany. He is a TM teacher and CEO of the Maharishi Ayurveda clinic which he runs in Germany. He runs his own clinics and has treated various patients through Maharishi Ayurveda and transcendental meditation. So today we are going to ask him something about the Vedic technology, about the treatments from Maharishi Ayurveda. So, hello sir, Jai Gurudev.
Namaste.
Namaste. So, to ask you first, what do you understand by Maharishi Vedic technology?
Well, as we all know, here in India, the land of the Vedas are the most ancient knowledge of the world. And the Vedic technologies are the practical applications of this knowledge. In the area of health, we have Ayurveda, but we also have other technologies like Jyotish and Yagya and Yoga.
Right.
And all these Vedic approaches, they are very beneficial for the well-being of humanity.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. So, if we talk about, so what do you understand or what do you mean by the collective health of society? How is it important?
Well, we have first, when Maharishi came out in the early 60s with transcendental meditation, then we have seen the tremendous individual benefits like the growth of consciousness, the improvement of health, better relationships. But he also mentioned about the possibility to create world peace. We are now in a situation where we have different conflicts and wars in different parts of the world, especially in Ukraine. And we have seen through the scientific research already 20 years ago that the group practice of the Transcendental Meditation program and the advanced techniques with the TMCD program and the yogic flying, that they are really capable of reducing tensions, crime rate, and even war activities in different parts of the world. And we can understand that the collective consciousness has different levels. The first level is the family consciousness, then the city consciousness, the state consciousness, and then the world consciousness. And the world consciousness is like the sum total of all the consciousness of the people together. And we know from the ancient Vedic science of yoga, as defined by Maharishi Patanjali, that in the vicinity of positivity of sattva, the negativity in the surroundings disappear. Yoga has been misunderstood or interpreted just as the physical postures, but we know from the Vedic scriptures, yoga chitti vritti nirodha, that means when the impulses, the activities of the mind settle down, then we experience that unified wholeness, this inner blissful, unbounded consciousness. And when this is practiced in groups, then we have seen that negative tendencies in the society go down. And there is a global union of scientists for peace. There are about 40 published peer-reviewed studies that show if we just had a group of, let's say, 6,000-7,000 people in each continent who would practice these programs, I'm sure the war could finish even within a few weeks.
And it is really required. So, on that note, I would like to ask you that how effective are Maharishi techniques to bring world peace?
I think from the scientific perspective, this seems to be the only solutions, because we have seen throughout history that agreements and contracts, they are broken after a short time. And if we have peace or not is really a matter of consciousness. If people have a lot of aggression, and if people are egoistic, we even know from the ancient science of Ayurveda in Charaka Samhita, it is defined how war happens. War happens when people leave the way of Dharma. Dharma means our natural duty, to live in harmony with the laws of nature. When people start to violate laws of nature, then they start to poison the food and the water, and then they start to quarrel amongst themselves. Ego and pride is coming up. And then they can be attacked or they will attack others. And the solution for this is in the ancient technologies of yoga, and that can even be enhanced by the Yagya programs. So Yagyas are performed by tradition, by the Vedic Pandits in India, And Maharishi said when the Vedic Pandits, when they practice transcendental meditation, that means when they experience the inner unbounded bliss consciousness, when they really perform the yajnas from the level of silence, then the yajnas will be more powerful. And we have in the Brahmastan of India and in other places groups of Pandits who are doing that. Only the number of Pandits is not yet big enough for the world. Right. So I hope, really, if I may say that, I think that India is the only country in the world, maybe besides Nepal, where we have the same tradition, that can create these groups of Pandits and create peace for the world. And I do hope that Prime Minister Modi, who is doing such a wonderful work, will take up these technologies from Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, implement them in India, and just create the peace for the world.
So, you said about the Prime Minister Modi, right? So, he practices transcendental meditation, or he understands Maharishi technology, so that India can be the leader for the whole world?
Absolutely, absolutely. I understand that Prime Minister Modi, long before he came in that position, he visited Maharishi European Research University and met Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And I think he is aware of the program. Of course, he has so many responsibilities and he has done so many good things for India to enliven this Vedic knowledge again. And I hope that he will find the time to look at the proposals that we have sent to him from the Global Union Scientists for Peace.
Okay. So, one question I would like to ask, that you have given lectures in various universities across the globe.
Yes, that's right.
So, what difference do you find between the Maharishi University and the other universities where you have given the lectures or interacted with the students?
That's a very beautiful question. I have really found, to my big surprise, there is a difference. The difference is the level of happiness of the students and the faculty. It's like a family kind of feeling. There is a lot of joy that you feel in the atmosphere, and you really can feel that in comparison to other universities and colleges, that here the emphasis is on the development of consciousness. So I have seen in the institution here that everybody meditates together at the same time. Even the faculty is meditating. And I think that will be having a great future for the world. It's really a holistic way of education, where the consciousness of the students is evolved while they are studying. So the container of knowledge is growing, and that enables the students to assimilate the knowledge much more easily.
People suffering from schizophrenia can also practice TM?
I think almost everybody can practice TM. If people have such a big issue, they may need some special attention from the teacher. You see, the ordinary people, it's enough that they have like 5-6 consecutive days, 1.5 hours a day to learn the practice. But people with these problems, they need more attention and more systematic follow-up.
Yes, right. So, we have heard about, and we all know that enlightenment, we do TM to reach to that level, right? So, what actually is enlightenment?
Enlightenment means not to be in the dark. Enlightenment means to really utilize our full mental potential. The ordinary people use maybe 10-15% of their mental potential, and they know only the 3 states of consciousness, which also the animals experience: waking, sleeping and dreaming states. And during transcendental meditation we experience the 4th stage of consciousness, which is called transcendental consciousness, pure consciousness, inner unbounded awareness. And during the practice we experience a very profound rest, which is about twice as deep as during the deepest phase of sleep. And it gives our nervous system the opportunity to release the deep-rooted stresses. And just by purifying our nervous system, our consciousness grows. And then the 5th state of consciousness is called cosmic consciousness, where we have the ability to maintain that inner unbounded peace and silence in the midst of activity. And there are even higher states of consciousness, refined cosmic consciousness, where the perception can perceive the celestial values of life. And even the highest state of consciousness is called Brahmichetana. That means the unity consciousness, where we can see the absolute underlying being in every human being, in everything in nature. And that is, I mean, I come from a Western country. Many people have grown up in the Christian tradition. And Jesus said, love thy neighbor as thyself. So that is really when we have, first we have to reach the cosmic consciousness to realize the self, the unbounded, not the ego, the unbounded inner consciousness, the self. And if we perceive this in others, then the love is flowing. It's a very fulfilled state of life. And if I may say, I would like to thank India, the land of the Veda, and also Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who brought this knowledge in its purity and who had it confirmed by scientific research, who brought it to the Western world. Because in my clinic in Bad Ems in Germany, we have treated 30,000 patients with Panchakarma, the Ayurveda rejuvenation therapy, and we have observed so many wonderful curative benefits where people with many chronic diseases who couldn't get help from allopathic medicine were cured. And I think Ayurveda is a great gift to the world. And I believe that Ayurveda will play a very big role in the future, and maybe even considered as the most supremely evolved system of healthcare in the world. So it's a beautiful gift from India, and I'm looking forward to continue to spread the achievements of this knowledge all around the world.
Thank you so much. So, as you said that TM gives all the health benefits.
Yes.
So, does Ayurveda, Maharishi Ayurveda facilitate it, or what is the effectiveness of Maharishi Ayurveda?
Well, they complement each other. Maharishi Ayurveda means Ayurveda in its authentic way, in its complete way. And in Ayurveda, we consider all diseases as imbalances between the mind, the body, the environment, the behavior. And we don't actually treat diseases, we help people to balance again. And for that, we have 20 different approaches of treatment. And they can be categorized in 4 areas. So the mental approach is mainly transcendental meditation and the advanced techniques. Then the physical approaches are like Panchakarma, to detox the body, the herbal preparations. Then behavioral approaches are, for example, what we know as Dinacharya and Ritucharya, how to live in accordance with the cycles of the day and the year. And also the knowledge about proper diet. And the 4th category is the collective health. And for this we need many people to meditate. We need either 1% of the world population, that would be around, I think, 80 million people who would practice TM, or we would need the square root of 1% practicing in groups for each continent. So I hope that this knowledge will be received well and will be accepted and implemented, so that hopefully we can create peace for the whole world very soon.
Thanks, Mr. Lothar, for such an insightful knowledge. And we continue to practice TM, learn TM, and to get this knowledge more and more, kindly like, share and subscribe our channel Rajvaarta. Jai Gurudev.